When moving from spectator to participant, you may experience aches and pains. Instead of giving up the activity, give up the pain. Call Aurora Sports Medicine Institute for a free injury evaluation. Aurora Sports Medicine Institute, the choice of Marquette athletics.
The very first place I think of when I think of my foundation is the home I grew up in with my folks and my brother and sister. I mean, if I'm to look back at all the things that I've been blessed and fortunate to do, it all started in the Wojciechowski home and with the values and the lessons and the unconditional love that I was brought up in. And it was very fertile soil which to grow from. My folks are salt of the earth people. My dad was a blue-collar worker down at the Port of Baltimore. He's a longshoreman for over 40 years. And I think my dad was a tremendous example of somebody who, did their best every day. He always appreciated a job done well. If it was a job worth doing, it was a job worth doing right. And that's one of the lessons that I learned from him.
First I started working on the ships when I was younger, then eventually I was a gear man. If anything happened on the ship, if something broke down, I'd have to go get some stuff. But they would put tractors on the ship, any kind of heavy equipment. We used to lift that on.
He would come home and he'd look half sick and he would say, "This money today goes in the bank," because I feel so bad.
He did what he had to do to provide for our family, and my mom was the homemaker. Whether it's getting us to school, helping us with our homework, getting us to practice after practice, she took care of the home front.
He first started playing basketball when he was about 8 years old. I said, "Why don't you try basketball?" So I took him up to Mr. Wilson.
Ed Wilson, he's a treasure in my area as basically a selfless servant to the kids in the community. He provided an outdoor clinic 5 nights a week for free. He was a great teacher, and that's the first I learned of basketball, and the thing that sparked my love for it started on those outdoor courts at the free clinics run by Mr. Wilson. It's those beginning moments where you're really playing for the joy of the game and how much fun it is.
He just really liked it, and Mr. Wilson thought, "Oh, he's playing on my team this winter." So, that's what he did. He played for Mr. Wilson for 2 years and then gradually went up the rank.
Outside of my family, the people who've had the biggest influences on me are my coaches, and certainly the coaches at Cardinal Gibbons and the school experience at Cardinal Gibbons. The basketball program was a big part of the school. Coach Mullis and his staff were the primary reasons I ended up at Gibbons.
The choice was great because he loved Coach Mullis. And Mullis was the kind of guy who would back him up.
He passed away my freshman year at Duke, but he was, while he was at Gibbons, he was a legendary coach. At one point, he was the all-time winningest coach in Baltimore City.
He did a great job for Mullis, and he wasn't the best guy on the team all the time, but every year he kept getting better and better.
After I kind of caught the bug and decided I wanted to be a college basketball player, Cardinal Gibbons and that gym became a second home for me.
If he thought he wasn't the best, he tried to be. He'd go out and work extra hard. I used to take him over there at night sometime, and he'd practice shooting.
That's where, I would put time in, oftentimes alone, trying to pursue my dream of being a Division I college basketball player.
When he was 12 years old,
he
says, "Mom, I'm going to Duke." I'm like, "Sure you are, Steve."
We knew he could play, but we didn't think he was going to be top level at the time.
Duke wins it, 77-75, a great comeback for the Blue Devils. Look at Wojciechowski's senior day, emotion galore. Look at him right there. He'll be a future coach here at Duke.
I think everybody, when they think of my Duke career, it's kind of symbolized by that, my senior night, where at the end of the North Carolina game where we won an ACC championship, Coach K and I embrace at half court, which is what a lot of people remember. But I think that's an incomplete story.
His first 2 years were somewhat tumultuous because I was out half of his freshman year.
It was a really hard year. It was a year that there were a lot of doubts, my own doubts about how, did I make the right choice? Am I good enough? All those things that people would never know.
Though people don't think of Duke rebuilding, we had to rebuild during his second year.
Really, the first 2 years of my college experience were not easy. I was having to redefine who I needed to be as a player and figure out what I needed to do to become successful.
Steve became one of our best players ever and as good a leader as we've had. His junior and senior, he basically led our team. He was a coach on the floor.
When people think of the MVP of the team and National Defensive Player of the Year and this amazing relationship that I had with my head coach, that all started through periods of adversity.
I thought he was the best competitor in college basketball. And as a result, it didn't take long for us to rebuild.
Those first 2 years at Duke, where I had to deal with real life things and not everything went well. That was the time of my greatest growth and learning, and ultimately was the thing that catapulted me to bigger and better things.
He's so prepared to be successful at this level. He's learned the game, and he's learned the game because instead of just putting his toes in the water, he's not afraid to jump in the deep end and make the commitment that's necessary to be successful when you do that. Wojo's as good as it gets, and I love him. My family loves him, and we know what a gift Marquette has.
Hey, how you doing? Steve Wojciechowski, nice to see you.
Glad you're here, Coach.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Let's invite Coach Wojciechowski to the podium to talk some hoops. Thank you very much.
I'll start by saying I feel so fortunate and blessed to be a part of the Marquette community. And I can tell you now, over 6 months in, my feelings for the place have only grown. So thank you for welcoming me and my family to your Marquette family. We're honored to be a part of it, and we're looking forward to doing some great things.
We're playing disciplined pressure. We're staying in between our man and the basket. Juan pulls you, and Steve, you cover two. Rebound! Good. Down here, same thing, here we go.
My challenge and charge to these guys is we as a group have an opportunity to build a foundation for which everything else that's done here under my tenure will be built.
Let's do something special. Let's do something special this year.
What I would hope is that foundation is a strong one, a sustainable one, and one that can last a long time.
1, 2, 3, work!